running never did much good. Hiding doesn't last forever. You can't run faster when it's you you're running from. So you throw your hands up like doves to the setting sun. Somewhere down the stars are falling like jewels upon a thin black veil. You'll find the mysteries enthralling. 5 seconds seems like 5 billion years. 10,000 galaxies away, yet still so near.
Welcome to Karen Holton's podcast. Karen permanently lost 178 pounds and found happiness and success by following her own advice. She has now developed that advice into the quantum health transformation. Heal, evolve, and thrive. Karen's website offers a free webinar workshop series, and you'll also find tools, methods, and practices to assist you to become the change you want to see in the world. She believes that we are all connected. Heal the planet by healing yourself. Connect with Karen at her website, KarenHoltonHealthCoach.com, and through Facebook at Facebook.com/Quantum Health Transformation. Now for the podcast.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Quantum Health Transformation, version 3.0, step 8, grounding and core belief systems. Step 8, this is the step 8 workshop video, and it's designed for those who wish to feel more grounded, to soothe the mind, the body, and the soul, and to change belief patterns, making way for quantum recovery and personal evolution. This is your chance to open up to a quantum reality. My students today are Don Rogers, Canadian Spinja, and Ray. You can check out their channel. The links will be below. And to find out more about my work, all of the links are featured below in the description. Subscribe to my channels, leave me some comments, smash that like button, and share this video with your friends. So hi guys, welcome back. Nice to see you again.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi. Did you guys have anything you wanted to ask or say about last week's lesson before we get into step 8?
I know for myself, I've already started seeing examples of where my reality is shifted in retrospect of nubby ball type thinking already. And it's just phenomenal because like we were talking before the show about how our reality is shifting. And it is literally because we've changed our perceptions and wants and needs just by 1 or 2 degrees, and everything is changing.
Yeah, it's a crazy, exciting life if once we find out, like all the things that I'm teaching you folks in the 9 steps, this is ancient knowledge. This is not new. And, and it's in other places, but it's never been put in one spot, like one stop to get everything you need. I'm not saying everything you need. There might be some other things, but basically you're going to learn about all the ancient things. Like today, we're going to get into some simple techniques for taking care of yourself that are technologies, but we don't think of them as technologies. In fact, sometimes we just think of them as being a bit of a bother, to have to do this or to do that or meditate or whatever. But really, they're technologies that help open up our worlds. I'm really glad that you're seeing some benefits. And so for those that are just watching for the first time today, you'll want to check in the links to go back and look at the previous lessons. There's the orientation, which is an overview of the whole program. And then we got into step 9 last week. And so today we're going to do step 8. So let me see if I have everything ready here. I believe I do. And we're going to go to a screen share. And again, I'll stop and see if you have any comments or anything you want to add or any questions or anything as we go along. So screen share. Here we go. Okay. So we're going to start with an overview of the entire program. And for those of you that aren't familiar with the program, we started at the bottom with step 9, and we did the introduction to the Nubby Ball tool and light shadow integration. And this week, we're going to do step 8, red, grounding and core belief systems. Now, the color code along the left-hand side of this chart shows that each step is actually tied in to a chakra system. So as you're going through and taking the lessons, you're also strengthening your chakra system. So today is Quantum Health Transformation, a new health paradigm, version 3.0, advanced training for healers and alternative health practitioners. Step 8, red, grounding and core belief systems. Welcome. This PDF primer is meant to accompany the corresponding live recorded workshop. Whoops, this is the live recorded workshop. I'm sorry, I'm reading from the PDFs. These PDFs are available on my website if you're interested. So I'm just reading them. So Quantum Health Transformation version 3.0, advanced training for healers and alternative health practitioners. Step 8, red, grounding and core belief systems, live session. Both the primer and the live workshops will be presented in descending number order as they're published. Everybody start with step 9 and work your way down to do step 1 last. All information presented in any Quantum Health Transformation media was received in a download and was channeled from the Living Library, also known as the Akashic Records. Further, this material was downstepped and developed through the filter of my own personal life experience. I'm not an expert, a mathematician, or a scientist. I'm a seeker of knowledge and wisdom. The Quantum Health Transformation Program is ideal for those who are awakening and for those who are experiencing ascension symptoms. But the content is beneficial for everyone who wishes to experience a better quality of life. This system of quantum health transformation works well for me. However, you must synthesize this information and take only that which serves you. At the very least, it is my hope that from this material, you will be stimulated to seek your own inner wisdom. And here's an image of me with my aura. Note, any part of the Quantum Health Transformation Original, 2.0, or 3.0 series can be copied and shared for free under the Fair Use Clause as long as credit is given to Karen Holton, that's me. So I just want to clarify, if you do use any of my material in your own teachings, please do not charge for it. It's supposed to be a free universal program. So that's the other thing. I don't want using this program to make money. This program is meant just to be shared very, very freely and liberally. And if you want to help to support my work, you can ask your clients, your customers, and of course, you yourselves can purchase PDF copies of this presentation from my website shop. And they're only $3.99, and that's Canadian. So that's very, very little and very affordable, but it helps bring in a little bit of money to help offset my costs that occur as I present this information, like maintaining my website and software and all kinds of things like that. So this week and for the next few weeks, I'm going to offer a disclaimer at the beginning, and it's important that you read this over. You can stop it and read it for yourself, and I'll just really quickly run through it for the AI or whatever the filter systems are that are used by YouTube and other social media platforms. So the disclaimer is this PDF and the information on our website, KarenHoltonHealthCoach.com, is presented as is for educational purposes only. It is not intended as a substitute for the diagnosis, treatment, or advice of a qualified licensed medical professional. The facts presented in this presentation or on the website are offered as information only, not medical advice, and in no way should anyone infer that we are practicing medicine. Seek the advice of a medical professional for proper application of this material to any specific situation. No statement here or on the website has been evaluated by the United States Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, the Canadian Food Inspection Agency, the CFIA, the Department of Health Canada, or any other regulatory authority. Any product mentioned or described in this presentation or website is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. We recommend that you do your own independent research before purchasing anything. So with that being said, we'll just get right into step 8, part 1. So there's 3 kinds of grounding for health. There's spiritual, environmental, and personal grounding. So we're going to take a look at them separately, but really they are a synergistic combination of things that work together. Environmental grounding includes spending time in nature, taking daily walks in the fresh air, and the use of orgone generators, also known as orgonite, indoors. Personal grounding includes self-grooming, stretching, taking salty baths, posture, chakra care, and the use of essential oils and other energy stabilizing technologies. Spiritual grounding. Start where you are right now. Think of and look around for things to appreciate. This is easier to do when we feel positive. If you are in a negative mood, empty your mind to find a neutral place, a neutral space, and then look for things to appreciate from your immediate surroundings. Even if your circumstances are wretched, go outside and consider the sky. Now appreciate that even when we cannot see the sun and the stars, they are always there on the other side of the gloom. From this point, consider pleasant things as they occur to you, and soon you will find something to appreciate and be grateful for. So in my own experience, there's been times where I did not feel very much appreciation. I didn't feel very positive, and I had to really look for things that helped me to feel a sense of appreciation. So you sort of start off with a little seed and you can grow it. Yeah, did you have something to say, Spinja?
I do. This actually, I found this a very effective practice. Now, I'm going to share something, and it's part of my journey, and it might be shocking, heartstring, but that's not my intention. So when Ray was a baby, I made the decision that I needed to move on with my life, and we found ourselves in a women's shelter.
Yeah.
And so I was there with my infant, and it's just like, oh wow, like where do I go from here? Like, and I knew that I couldn't sink. He was relying on me. Like, I knew I had to stay strong. And it's like, but how do you do this when you have nothing?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the part where I remember I'd watched The Secret, and I remember them talking about gratitude. And it's like, well, you know what? That's the only thing I have right now. You know, I've got my baby. He's healthy, and he's safe, and I know where he is. So that was the start of it. And so as I was there and processing things, I started a gratitude journal, and then eventually I put sticky notes. I was in a facility that it was just him and I in like a small apartment. And so I put sticky notes all over the apartment, and that's how I didn't sink. And it was like a snowball, you know, like if I had have not done that, then I would have got sucked into the drama, and like even worse than the spot that I was. By focusing on what I had to be grateful for, as little as what I perceived in the moment, I still found something, and that helped pull me out.
Wonderful, wonderful example. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. And thank you for doing that for yourself and for everybody else. So this process puts you into positive alignment with everything. Soon you will experience a gratitude snowball effect and you will feel much better. Grounding your soul this way will attract good things into your life. It has been my experience that genuine gratitude works like a magic wand. The world around me seems to change as though jumping from one-dimensional reality to another. Be patient with yourself and recognize that you are forming and instilling a new habit and way of perceiving reality. It really needs to become a habit, and it really does help. Another form of spiritual grounding is to accept unconditional love from other beings, including your pets. They are very grounding to the soul. Also, during times of isolation, many have benefited greatly from accepting unconditional love from people we have not yet met face to face, but who sometimes live a long ways away through online social media. Sorry, go ahead, Dawn.
I was just waving because that's how we met.
Yeah, exactly. There are also many influencers, psychics, and healers who send out their love daily online. Some even offer a daily transformational email message. Their positive influence travels the fourth and fifth dimensions of our world, so time and space do not hinder the unconditional love they project. I too regularly send out much positive energy via my online channels. So for those of you who haven't checked me out, you can find me on most social media platforms at Karen Holton TV. And nothing bestows love like a warm, furry friend. Yeah, you guys know that. You have 2 huskies and 2 cats, right? Yeah, I have 2.
One cat.
Oh, you have 1 cat. I have 2 cats. Sometimes they drive me crazy, but I love them so much. They're my furry babies. So no wonder felines were so valued in ancient societies. They emit grounding and healing frequency when they purr. And yes, canines are very grounding too. If you find yourself without a human or a furry companion to snuggle with, hug a tree. All living things are very grounding to the human soul. And this leads us to environmental grounding. So I have literally done that. I like to go for walks, especially when I don't feel very good emotionally. And I have literally gone up and hugged trees. And it's amazing, the grounding effect. Excuse me. So number 2 is environmental grounding. I guarantee you will feel better and more grounded when you are outdoors. Physical contact with the earth, grass, water, sand, and fresh air restores the natural frequency of our bodies. The resonant frequency of a human being is about 70 megahertz when we're insulated, but matches the frequency of the earth, about 7 to 12 megahertz, when we make physical contact with it. Technology unnaturally raises our resonant frequency to levels we're not able to cope with, and only by dropping to a level which matches the earth do we begin to heal and recover. So leave your phone at home and get outside and make contact as often as you can. My physical, mental, and spiritual health improved drastically when I started going for walks each morning. I like to walk in the mornings, otherwise I don't get around to it. And a simple walk in nature without my phone gives me so much more than exercise. Let me share with you what I discovered. Formerly, this is a picture of me, when I weighed in at 320 pounds, that was a size 48 that I was wearing in that picture. I knew that physical activity was important, but I lacked the discipline to follow a regimented exercise program. I made an effort over the years. I tried aerobics, jogging, and I even worked with a personal trainer at the gym, but I could not keep it up, and I really felt like such a failure. And that was back in 2004. When I discovered that all I really needed to improve my health, my mood, and my spirit was to go for a walk every day, and I discovered so many benefits. First of all, walking improves my cardio fitness and pulls lots of oxygen into my body, healing my brain, organs, and everything else. The mild jiggling and joggling motions of my body parts move my lymphatic system, which, unlike my blood, has no direct pump for circulation. The easy impact of a simple walk moves the lymph system, which drains accumulated toxic waste from the body via the sweat glands. And here's a picture of me in 2013 after taking walks every day and applying the Quantum Health Transformation program. When I'm out in nature, I breathe in the aromatherapy given off by the plants and trees. The freshness of the air tells my circadian and other rhythms to synchronize with the planet, and I adapt better to the seasons. The plants and trees also have an uncanny ability to wick away stress and worry, and I find this is an excellent opportunity to sort out my thoughts and meditate. I become so grateful for all that I see, hear, and feel while I'm out in nature, a perfect position for attracting success and health into my life. You know, we don't realize what an amazing environment there is outdoors, especially if we've been sick, if we've been indoors a lot. You know, if we spend a lot of time using our screens indoors, we forget. We go outside and it's so delightful. And we're always rewarded. We always find things that are just so cute and so warm, you know, little birds playing or who knows what. It's just great. And I'm not kidding, just walking through the woods, it seems to wick away all the tension and the negative feelings. And we just feel at one with the planet. It's so wonderful. While out walking, my body becomes grounded and resets to the resonant frequency of the planet, and I feel so alive and connected. The songs of birds and the wind in the trees create a symphonic healing adventure. Each season gives me a new perspective. Winter, death and renewal. Spring, starting over. Summer, abundance. And autumn, rest. Gratitude and prayer seal my good intentions into healthy outcomes. Wherever you live, come walk with me in spirit and learn to really enjoy your body. I know that's easier said than done when you live in Alberta or northern Canada. It gets really cold. But even if you just go out long enough to be too cold to stay out and come back inside, it still helps. Now, before we move on to indoor grounding, do you have any questions?
I fully agree. Like in my experience with grounding and just being outside and being rewarded. Like one of my favorite things to do in the warmer weather is to take my spinning wheel, which is made of wood, and sit outside and just spin and just take everything in and watch the birds and the insects and just the trees sway. It's amazing.
It is amazing. We forget how amazing it is. Yeah, Dawn.
I also was thinking when you were talking about that is the neurological shift that being outside allows you and away from the screens. Like you can actually get outside of your regular thoughts, the programmed thoughts. Like when you're just out and you can think, everything else goes away.
It
And
does.
it's paradigm shifting sometimes. Just being outside and able to think away from everything.
Yeah, totally. And the other thing too is some people have trouble meditating, but when you're walking is the perfect time. It's just perfect. And you don't have to be empty of thought in order to meditate. You just sort of drop your frequency and it's just really quite lovely. So next is indoor grounding. So I found that screen time seemed to zap me of my energy, and I discovered orgone generators help me to feel more grounded indoors and less energy sensitive. I found them to be so beneficial that I developed my own line of orgone generators, and I called them Zen Domes Orgonite. Now, I just want to mention to people, if you go online into Google or one of the search engines and you type Zen Domes Orgonite, you will not find my orgonite. I used to have a shop on Etsy, and I left Etsy to start selling my orgone generators off my website, and Etsy stole my brand name and used it for a category name. So now when you type in Zen Domes Orgonite, you're going to go to Etsy and see all the people who make orgonite. And some of it is probably quite good, but it's not the same And mine is different. And but then, you know, you make up your own mind. But I just want to let everybody know that my orgone generators are only available from my website. So orgonite is a simple compound which balances ambient energy by converting negative energy, which we call EMF, into positive healing energy with many easily confirmed health benefits. They help diminish the harmful effects of EMF, which stands for electromagnetic frequency radiation, and produce orgone energy, which is also known as chi, prana, 0 point, scalar energy, or even life force. Orgonite helps to purify the atmosphere and stimulate plant growth. It helps stimulate positive mood and is a natural remedy for poor sleep patterns. Orgonite helps restore health to the mind, the body, by safely interacting with the natural crystals or salts and fluids found in the body. So they emit a frequency which resonates with our frequency of every cell in our body, our fluids, and the natural salts that are found in our body. Zendome's orgonite amplify crystal healing vibrations. They purify the atmosphere, produce negative ions, and stimulate positive mood. There are multiple health benefits reported from regularly keeping orgonite nearby. All of the crystals emit soothing, healing frequencies, and when combined, they emit an inaudible symphony of healing energy. They clear all of the chakras as they relax the body and interact with the natural crystals or salts found in our blood and tissues. All Zendome's orgonite amplify purified energy, which helps to restore health to the body, mind, and soul. So there's a chart on the left for those of you who are watching the visual video. And for those of you who are listening on an audio platform, please do come and check out the video on YouTube or Odyssey or Rumble, and so that you can see the visuals. So the chart on the left shows the different crystals. Interestingly, they are color coordinated to the chakra system. So the root chakra, which is represented by red, all of the black stones and the red stones are very, very grounding. So if you have black tourmaline or you have red jasper, they're all very, very grounding and soothing, and they operate within the root chakra. Orange stones like orange calcite or tiger's eye, they all are connected with the sacral chakra. And on it goes up to the crown chakra. So yellow stones coordinate with the solar plexus, green or even pink, like rose quartz, coordinate with the heart chakra. Then the throat chakra are the blue, like turquoise colored crystals. The third eye is things like sodalite or lapis lazuli. And then for the crown chakra, any of the clear quartz or violet or purple colored stones help to stimulate those chakras. So each different color of stone emits, and each different kind of crystal emits its own frequency. So when they're combined under pressure, they're emitting their frequency. They become what's called piezoelectric. I'll get into that in a minute. And they emit a frequency that actually has a healing effect on the body. So Zendome's orgonite are my unique brand of orgone generators. They're ethically sourced, they're handmade, and they're double charged for maximum effect. And they're only available from my website. And I've got a picture of Dr. Emoto, who did the messages with water. So it's the same principle. Music and words affect the structure of water in the very same way that crystals, especially when they're under pressure, affect the fluids and the salts within our bodies. And how much of our body is made up of water? You know, we want to positively affect that as much as we can. And here's an image of some of the orgone generators that are available on my website. I have pyramids and angels and pendants and butterflies and discs. Yeah. Oh, I noticed you have one on. That's wonderful. So the discs are fantastic for taking in the bath. The pendants are great because you can just wear them all the time or whenever you're up and about. And the pyramids are great for placing near your technologies, or you can even grid your home with them. Oop. Oh, I thought I had a picture of the piezoelectric. I guess it's not here, but I have it elsewhere and on my website. You can have a look at it, how it actually works. Basically, when crystals are combined with metal shavings within the resin, they are under pressure, because when the resin cures, it shrinks, and that's what puts permanent pressure on the crystals, causing them to be piezoelectric. So then there's personal grounding. Did you have questions or anything you wanted to say before we moved on to personal grounding?
I've said it before, but I just wanted to mention it again since you were on the generators. It's very interesting, and I find it fascinating that we have an older dog, Gunner, who absolutely gravitates to the generators you have sent to us. Like, he is an old crotchety fart, and he's grumpy all the time, but when he lays by the generators, he seems to get up more actively.
Wonderful, really wonderful. Yeah, my amethyst is especially powerful for pets, especially dogs and cats. They find it really, really soothing. So I do actually have some orgone generators for pets that are made from amethyst as well. So then there's personal grounding. Personal grounding includes self-grooming, stretching, taking salty baths, posture, chakra care, and the use of essential oils and other energy stabilizing technologies. And these absolutely are technologies because they raise our frequency and they allow us to be in better connected to the frequencies of the earth, each other, and also the frequencies necessary for manifesting and bringing about the kind of change we want to see in our lives. So we're actually a grooming species, and we require daily massage and movement of the body in order to clear our energy pathways, align our chakras, and strengthen our flow of energy called chi, prana, 0 point, or scalar energy. This is foundational for improving the health of the body, mind, and the soul. Self-grooming is a wonderful way to self-soothe yourself before you start your day. Whether you shower in the morning or wait and have a bath before bed, you'll want to try giving yourself a massage soon after you wake up in the morning. Now, this doesn't have to take hours. This can just take a few minutes as you quickly run your hands over the surface of your body. Self-massage involves massaging unprocessed fruit and nut-sourced oils combined with organic essential oils into the skin. Jojoba, sweet almond oil, avocado, and coconut oil work well, but never use cooking oils. Cooking oils and seed oils are not good for you. Most are toxic, so you want to stick to something that's very, very natural. And your choice of organic essential oils, the big thing is don't be buying them at the dollar store. You want to buy a good quality, organic sourced essential oil. And what scent do you want? That all depends on you. You will naturally be attracted to that which is in your best interest. The same as what color of crystals should you buy. You will naturally be attracted to what's good for you. The only other thing I wanted to mention here is, oops, I lost it. It'll come back. So when you're doing your self-massage, oh, I know, it was about pets. I would recommend that before you use any essential oils or even buy your essential oils, to do an internet search on which essential oils are toxic for pets, cats and dogs, or whatever you have, because you might be surprised. Something like lavender, which is so soothing for us, might be absolutely toxic to your pets, and we wouldn't want to inadvertently be making them sick. They have slightly different physiology, and they have very, very sensitive smell mechanisms. So that's why we want to be careful of that. So when we're doing self-massage, you want to start with the top of your head and work your way down. Massage from your hands towards your shoulders, your feet towards your hips, and your trunk towards your heart. Use small circular motions on your hands, elbows, shoulders, feet, knees, and hips, while using long stroking motions on your forearms, your upper arms, your lower legs, and your thighs. And when you've completed this exercise, give your hair and scalp a good brushing. This is very soothing to your body and your mind and is a great way to expand self-love and self-healing. So like I said, you wouldn't have time for a full massage usually in the morning, but to just quickly put a little oil on your hands and just quickly do some circular motions and some stroking motions and just cover your body with your hands. And that's enough to stimulate your own healing and your own self-soothing. It's important. And then there's stretching. Stretching also unblocks the energy centers and stimulates circulation while preparing the body for movement. Techniques like yoga, tai chi, and qigong seem to work best, but any stretching movement is better than none as long as it doesn't cause you any pain. So you could even just mimic the way a pet stretches or the natural flow of the trees and the water. I mean, the wind through the trees and the water is also very beneficial and grounding. And if you're not used to a stretching routine, just try stretching your body first thing in the morning within the comfort of your own bed. Stretching also helps your body posture to realign itself. So you may not be able to do the postures that are shown in these images, and you may not have time or resources or whatever in order to learn yoga or tai chi or qigong, but you can do some stretching, and you need to start someplace, just like gratitude. You just start by stretching whatever feels good and just do it, and then work your way from there into more and more and more stretching. You become more flexible through time. And again, this process, none of these lessons, you're just going to take the lesson and go out and make all these permanent changes. It doesn't work that way. You'll make really slow, incremental changes to your lifestyle. And you may not be able to balance all of these things in one day. That might take years before you incorporate them, but you just start one thing at a time. It's like juggling with one ball. And once you've got that really down pat, you can introduce the second ball until you've got that down pat. Spinja, what did you want to say?
Well, this is interesting because I'm finding, like, on my journey, there comes a point where my body just automatically leads me to what it needs.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that we're talking about stretching. I've noticed now, like I've mentioned before, that the circumstances in our lives have seen me having to do 10-hour days at work,
Yeah.
which I am, it is what it is, and I love my job, but my body isn't exactly happy with having to sit for that long.
Yeah.
So it's to the point, like, my back has started to hurt.
Yeah.
And one of the solutions I'm finding is stretching. So I've been taking the time to stretch, and my bosses, like, and again, I'm just going to say, like, where I work, I am beyond blessed because they are very understanding. We actually have a room upstairs, like just off the lunchroom, where you can close the door and you can go meditate, pray, whatever. And that's where I go to stretch.
Wonderful. Really wonderful.
Since I've started doing that, I'm noticing that my body's a lot happier at work. And so it's just one of those things that when you're ready, it just fits its way into your life. Like, this isn't even an inconvenience or, like, out of the way. It just fits.
Mm-hmm. And it's really important that we get reconnected to our bodies, because we can be all up in the mind all the time, thinking. And some people consider the body just this meat wagon that we drag around, when no, it's got its own intelligence. And when it's running smoothly, oh my God, it's such a joy to be alive. So we may want to start just by putting a little oil on our hands and rubbing our faces and our arms and our body and our legs, just to get started. We might just start even in bed before we get up, stretching and moving around a little bit. Like, all of these things help to bring us back into our body.
Well, you could tie that into the practice of gratitude as well.
Yep,
All in,
absolutely. Absolutely. It's all part of the same thing. And it feels so good. And after you've done it a few times, you go, oh my God, this is what I've been missing. I've got some pictures here of different animals stretching, everything from a goose, bears, lions. All animals do stretching. It's so important.
Yeah.
Did you want to say something, Dawn, before I move on? Sorry, I didn't want to cut you
I
off.
was nodding along and looking at the pictures.
Yeah, they're cute, eh? And
Yeah.
notice they all do the same kind of movements. Look at the lion. It's so cute. That's called the happy baby pose in yoga.
Yeah. Oh,
that's what she's.
that's how our dog sleeps. The younger one, not the cranky fart.
Not the cranky fart, yeah. Hi guys, break time for a short message. YouTube will not monetize me, so if you enjoy my content and want to support my efforts, help me to cover my expenses by visiting my shop to buy yourself a beautiful orgone generator. Zendome's Orgonite are my unique brand, and they are ethically sourced, handmade, and double charged for maximum effect. They are only available through my website, www.karenholtonhealthcoach.com. Many people are finding comfort with Zendome's orgone generators, commonly called Orgonite. They are a simple compound which balance ambient energy by converting negative energy and EMF into positive healing energy with many easily confirmed health benefits. They are a simple compound with alchemic and energetic properties. These devices function as self-driven, continuously operating, highly efficient, negative to positive energy transmutation factories. They help diminish the harmful effects of electromagnetic frequency radiation by attracting and converting negative energies, retuning them into new and more healthful sound and light wave patterns. And they help to purify the atmosphere and accelerate plant growth. They also help stimulate positive mood and are a natural remedy for poor sleep patterns. When Orgonite is within range of any corded or wireless electronic device, it will efficiently and continuously transform that energy into orgone as it is being transmitted. This essentially creates orgone energy transmitters out of any and all emitters of harmful negative energy. You can use these devices for focusing the mind, healing, meditation, and for spiritual growth. Zendome's Orgonite are my unique brand of orgone generators, and they are only available through my website. Don't be fooled by imitations. Check out my website to see my latest selection at www.karenholtonhealthcoach.com. That's KarenHolton healthcoach.com. Check them out today. Now, let's get back to the show. So next I want to talk about a salty bath. So earlier we were talking about getting outside and getting grounded and being in nature and going for walks. If you live in Alberta or northern Canada or some other part of the world where it gets really cold and snowy in the wintertime, it's more difficult to get outside. So there's a wonderful alternative to that, whether you can or can't get outside, and that's a salty bath. Did you know that all of your household electrical outlets are grounded to the earth via your plumbing? So you can turn your bath into an energetically grounding spa by adding Epsom salts, sea salts, essential oils, and disc-shaped orgone generators or even smooth-shaped crystals to your bath. So when you're sitting in the tub and you're in this salty environment, you become like a battery. So first of all, what happens is the drain system, well, I'll just read it and then I'll talk about it. The salts greatly increase your physical and spiritual conductivity, and the tub drain fixture anchors your body and your auric energies to the earth. essential oils, crystals, and orgone generators help to restructure the water to enhance relaxation and healing. This practice also enhances spiritual contact during meditation. So what happens is you're in the tub, you've got all the salt in there with you, and your body's absorbing the minerals it needs. It's detoxifying. You're being grounded to the earth through the plumbing system, but you're also connecting through your crown chakra to your higher forces, because you become like a battery and your frequency goes up. And it's much easier to meditate, to make contact with your higher self, your spiritual guides. It's much easier to come to understandings and realizations, not to mention that it's ever so relaxing. So I recommend everybody try this practice. It's really lovely. And another way to show love to your body, to your mind, and to your soul. And as mentioned, I have some disc-shaped orgone generators also available on my website. The one featured here has a layer of shungite on one side, which is very good for detoxifying and absorbing negative energies. And when I speak of negative energies, I'm not just talking about the electromagnetic frequencies that come from our cell phones and our technology. I'm also talking about negative forces and energies that surround us that are from other dimensional realities. There's many different names given to it. There's even an energy signature that comes from being around shitty people, people that upset you, push your buttons. You want to cast that off. You don't want to hold that in your etheric or in your electrical body. So there's that part of it too. So that's why I have quite a few discs that have shungite on one side, because it's so beautifully detoxifying. And then there's a layer of copper in the middle, and then there's a layer of a clear quartz in this case, which balances all of the chakras. And this helps to restructure the water, again, getting back to Dr. Emoto and how water is affected by thoughts and energies. I also have discs that have instead of clear quartz, have a layer of citrine or amethyst or rose quartz. So, and I also have some other ones that are just a few left of the other ones that are sets of small discs. Each one corresponds to a different chakra. So you may want to have a bath and go, okay, I really feel like I need to be grounded. I want my red jasper in there, and I really want to do something about, my heart chakra. So I'm going to put in some green malachite, and they're all within the orgone generators. So that's available. So care for your chakras with the use of orgone generators, essential oils, crystals, color therapy, solfeggio frequencies, meditation, and other energy stabilizing technologies. So all of our physiology is also tied into our chakra systems. So our root chakra corresponds to and takes care of grounding and our physical stamina. Then there is the sacral chakra, which has to do with creativity and also reproduction. There is the solar plexus, which is tied in to your adrenal glands and a lot of your stronger emotions, and your heart chakra, which is super important for love and healing, your throat chakra for communication, your third eye chakra for spiritual awareness, and your crown chakra for spiritual contact. And then I also want to mention posture. Posture is important for health. When we carry our bodies physically in alignment, our energy does not get pinched off and it flows more freely. And one thing that helped me a lot was to help correct my posture. I followed the advice of a dance instructor who recommended that I simply raise my sternum as often as possible and keep it held high. Your sternum is your chest, where your heart chakra is. All your ribs are tied into it in the front. Well, not all your ribs, but your top of your rib cage. And when you raise that by, you just consciously raise it, the muscles that do that, it puts your whole body into higher alignment. So this not only improved my posture, but it increased my self-esteem too. I look and I feel more confident, and I certainly can breathe deeper and more comfortably when I remember to do this. I often work at raising my sternum while I'm out walking. It seems to go hand in hand, and it increases the lung capacity, and I can take in more oxygen. So there are oodles of instructions on how to do self-massage, stretching exercises, and to correct your posture found online. Just do some research and experiment until you find that which works best for you. So I'm not recommending any particular technique. You will find that which serves you the best. And then I want to speak a bit about the electromagnetic field of the heart. When we take time to ground, stretch, and groom, we clear and we line up our chakras, and this strengthens our heart's toroidal field. A vibrant toroidal field improves our health and brings us into alignment with our desires for a more comfortable existence. It is at the heart of manifesting that which we desire. And our heart's torus field radiates outward for at least 10 feet in our third dimensional reality, and further on the fourth and fifth dimensional realities where we're all connected. Heal yourself and you literally heal the world. And for more research, check out the Heart Math Institute. They are a scientific community that has done all the scientific experiments and research proving that this is a real thing and indeed really does work this way. Now, another thing I want to mention to you folks is when we get together next, because you live about an hour south of where I live, when we get together next, I'm going to show you a really cool exercise. Maybe we could film it, where we will use a divining device to see how far from your body your toroidal field actually goes.
Okay.
And then I'm going to get you to think about something that stresses you out, and we'll remeasure it. And you'll see that your toroidal field has shrunk close to your physical body. And then I'll get you to imagine something that makes you feel really loved and really good and grounded. And we'll measure it again, and we'll see that your toroidal field, it could be 20 to 50 feet from the body. That's how much of an energetic effect what we think about has on our physical body. So I want to do that experiment with you and teach you how to do it so you can teach it to other people. So we'll do that next time we get together. Remind me, and we'll film it.
Road trip.
Road
Yeah,
trip. Yeah.
we're in.
That'd be dope.
We're in.
Okay. Well, the weather's getting better, so pretty soon, okay?
Yep.
So that's all about grounding. It's enough. It's quite a bit, but again, it's what connects you to your body, which is really important. And now we're going to move on to step 8, part 2, core belief systems, because what we believe is what's real for us. It's really important to examine our belief systems. So for those of you who haven't done so already, go back and watch Quantum Health Transformation, step 9, where you will learn to do some exercises to integrate your light and your shadow self. Now consider some new attributes that you wish to see emerge from yourself and qualities that you already possess, but you wish to strengthen. And for an example, I'll tell you mine, the one I need to work on the most is patience. That's something I want stronger. I want to be better at. I have some, I've been working at it, but I want it to be even stronger. And approach yourself without judgment, as though you are cafeteria-style shopping for an improved sense of self. At this point, you don't need to do anything, just be aware of what you want. So I recommend that people keep a journal while they're taking this course. So you may want to do some journal entries on, and some of the things you discovered from using the nubby ball from step 9. What are some areas of your life that you want to strengthen? Do you want to be, have higher self-esteem? Do you want to have more patience? Whatever you want to improve and strengthen, just be aware of it. That's the sort of the most important step of all. Frequently meditate on these desired qualities as you do your grounding exercises. Prayer also works well. So while you're stretching, while you're massaging, while you're in the bath, while you're doing these other things, while you're out taking a walk, that's the time that you can start thinking about the qualities and ways that you can improve them. Once you accept your whole self, work on loving yourself unconditionally. Think of yourself as a younger, less experienced being in need of guidance. Now is the time to develop an internal parent who can guide this younger version of you. Think about what a good parent might look like and remain non-judgmental and very patient with yourself. So some of us didn't have the best role models as parents, so we might really need to spend time. What would a good parent be like? Well, one thing a good parent would be is protective. So we want to start protecting ourselves. I think that's important. So make contact with your inner guidance system. This is your inner guru, and it requires you to practice self-love and self-regulation. Are there recreational activities, foods, or entertainment that are not good for your inner child? Consider discouraging yourself from using these things. Self-control is the hallmark of a spiritually mature person. So I literally talk to my younger inner child, my younger self. You know, there's times where I'm craving chocolate cake or something that's just not good for me, just doesn't work for me. And I'll say, I tell you what, I know you really want it. I'm hearing you. I'm understanding you really think you want that right now. But think about what happens when you eat like that. Think about what happens to your body. Do you get anxiety? Do you get depressed after? Do you crave more? Do you really want that? I love you enough to say, no, you're not having that. Now let's spend some time thinking about something else that's really good for me, that I also really enjoy, and let's do that. And it's amazing what comes to mind, and it's really fun. Before we move on, did you have anything you wanted to comment about this?
For me, it's really interesting that this keeps coming up. It's almost like you just have to take yourself out for a second and you're like, why am I like this? Okay, do I want to be the opposite of that? Well, no, but do I want to be over here a little bit more? Like the self-perception of taking yourself and looking at yourself outside of your own awareness is just mind-blowing. And I keep hearing it, like I've heard it from you and I heard it from a guest Rob just had. And it's just wild that this keeps coming up, and it's something we're all applying to our lives right now.
Yeah, it's really, really important stuff, and it's really foundational. And again, like I said during the last lesson, you know, I went to parenting courses. I went to mental health. I saw counselors. I tried to get help. Nobody taught me any of this. None of this was mentioned in mainstream health services.
Nope.
Isn't that interesting? Well, but lots of pills. They offered me lots of pills, but no practical suggestions on how I could change my life.
The game changer for me, because it sounds like there's a lot of parallels with us.
Yeah.
They finally, because I said I didn't want to do medication because like I'd already been down that road, and I'm, you know, to each their own.
Yeah.
But for me, I knew like it wasn't a chemical thing. It was stuff. It was trauma that I had to heal, and I was at the place where no prescription was going to help me with that. I had to face this on my own,
Yeah.
and the turning point for me, and this was probably, you know, if they wanted to keep me in the system, this was their mistake. I did it was a pain management course, but they also, like, it was mindfulness and meditation. And once I turned the mindfulness on, that was a game changer for me.
Yeah.
And even in my class, like I noticed like they didn't seem to expand on it. So the expanding I did on my own, and I'm like, hey, like that was the one thing though that actually helped me. But I had been seeking out mental health, like different pathways for, I'd say, like 15 years at that point.
Yeah, me too. And so although this whole program is very comprehensive, there might be elements that are missing. But when I went for external help and support, I got little pieces. So I may
Yes.
have gotten the mindfulness, or they may have tried to teach me how to meditate, or one thing or another, but they didn't
Yes.
put the whole picture together and give me all of these options. And they didn't teach me to go down in my core and learn how to love myself. Ultimately, this whole program teaches people how to love themselves.
This is where I was saying, like, this is the missing pieces. Like, I did, I did the work, and and there were bits and pieces that helped me on my journey in the mental health. I don't even know what to call it, but you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
oh yeah.
And I certainly don't discount it. Like, if you need help, go get the help. Absolutely. But also know that you're being given help, you're being given some information, but there might be more to it.
Yes, yes. And again, I only encourage folks to take what resonates with them and don't worry about the rest. As not, certain aspects of this program might really feel like they'd be beneficial. Other people, not so much. But the other thing too is when you've completed the whole program, you come back and revisit it and you pick up the pieces that you weren't ready for before. So it's kind of
Yeah.
an ongoing program. So the next part is about affirmations. I use them a lot. And I encourage people to write out positive affirmations, the ones that you like, and post them in conspicuous places. Your subconscious will accept them, even if you're not actively reading them or repeating them to yourself. Just keep them in visual range. So you don't have to repeat them over and over. Just have them in visual range. It helps a lot. And you might want to write down things like, I deserve to be loved. I am worthy. I am becoming better each day. I believe in myself. I am grateful for loving myself. I am confident. I am successful. I am full of joy. I am safe. I choose peace. I give myself permission to rest. And there are many, many more to choose from. I am is the most powerful statement we can make before we add our affirmation. And you can go on your search engines and find tons and tons of examples if if you're not sure where to start. And what will resonate with you is what sticks out. Same as what color of crystal, it will stick out to you and you will just know which one you need. A big one for me is I am safe. And the other one is I give myself permission to rest. I felt like I had to be doing all the time. I didn't realize it was a do. We need to do and we need to just be, and we need to do and we need to just be.
I like that.
And here's the mantra that I use a lot. I have been using this mantra for probably 10 years, and I just find it works so well for me. I wanted to share that with everybody. It's a mantra to center, balance, and de-stress. And you start by taking 3 cleansing breaths, and then you repeat the affirmation or the mantra until you feel more relaxed. As soon as you feel your body relaxing, then you take 3 more breaths and you move on to the next one. So you start with self. I am all right. I am all right. And you do that till you feel a little bit of a relaxing in the body. The physical body starts to relax. And then you take 3 more cleansing breaths, and then you repeat to yourself, everything is all right. I know this goes against a lot of conventional wisdom, and it certainly goes against the news, but you can create your own reality within the greater reality where you really are all right, where everything is all right. And when your body starts to relax, take 3 more cleansing breaths and then tell yourself, everything will be all right. Everything will be all right. And then you take 3 more cleansing breaths, and that's it, unless you want to repeat the whole process. So I used to have trouble sleeping. I'd wake up in the middle of the night, and these were these 3 statements were the mantra I would use. Didn't take long till I'd fall back asleep again. So finally, subscribe to daily reminders like Mike Dooley's Messages from the Universe and quotes from Abraham Hicks. These 2 resources have helped to inspire me very much. So every day in my email, I get an email from them with the most amazing positive things to remind me and help me to reset my course and help me to know that I'm successful and I'm loved and I'm worthy. It's just wonderful. If we don't have other people telling us this, we may as well get these emails and these messages that tell us every day, because I needed it. I don't need it as much now, but I sure needed it in the past just to hang on. So before we go to the conclusion, is there any other comments you have or questions? Or Ray, do you have anything you want to say?
Not that I can really think of, but the stuff you were saying, like with specific crystals, really resonated with me a lot. And like I've got your pendant, and then I've also got bloodstone for stones, and that was on your chart. So
yeah, very, very grounding, very grounding. And you know, people worry about when they start getting into the woo, they worry about evil spirits and stuff. Trust me, evil spirits and stuff have a completely different frequency. As soon as we start raising our frequency, it's like the 2 can't connect. You don't have to push it away. There's just no connection because they can only stay within the lowest realms of frequency. As soon as we raise ours with crystals, essential oils, you know, self-evaluation, compassion, love, any of those things, we're on a whole different level, and the 2 cannot connect. So to me, that is the most important for protecting ourselves, is just raise our frequency, live well, love well. So in conclusion, ground first and then affirm your new core beliefs. And the more you practice, the better it gets. So do them together, but do the grounding first and then add the affirmations. And you can find this lesson on my website, step 8. This concludes the Quantum Health Transformation version 3.0, Advanced Training for Healers and Alternative Health Practitioners, step 8, Grounding and Core Belief Systems. Please feel free to contact me for more information and for assistance with your self-care program. And I am always and forever eternally grateful for all the forces that assist me with the production of this 9-step online course. So next week, we're going to be doing step 7, orange, develop new core beliefs and male-female energy balance. So we'll continue from where we left off today with our belief systems and strengthening and improving our personal belief systems, which in turn changes our reality. And just as in step 9, we learned about shadow and light and integrating the 2, well, we also have both male and female energy. And when we balance them and draw from both resources, we're more complete people and we have more energy. And in this lesson, I'm also going to get into the whole transgender issue. I'm not going to get into gender politics. I'm just going to explain on a biological and psychological level, basically the mechanics of it, so that people understand why this is happening, what's going on, why it's so common. But you don't have to buy into any of it. You get to keep your own personal beliefs and what resonates with you. So if you pick up the PDF, you will also have links to all of my free resources. I have quite a few. And I also have a weekly show called the Quantum Guide Show, which is comes out every Wednesday evening. I have another podcast called Aliens and Angels. And when we're finished doing the weekly workshops, I'm actually going to do a live show every Sunday at the same time so that we can form some community. And I'm probably going to call it Aliens and Angels, since this is a hot topic. and we will have guests on who have experiences, and people who have met ET, and people who have had angelic visitations, and also have Q&As to answer all kinds of questions, comments, and let people give their input onto this subject as well. So that's it for today. So I'll stop the screen share. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today for the workshop. I just want everybody to know too that I have now completed all 360 pages of the Quantum Health Transformation Program, updated it, re-edited it, added new images, made it much more user-friendly, and all the PDFs are now available on my website. The different individual steps that you can access from my website are in the process of being updated. So we're doing the weekly workshops as we do them. I will add them to the website. But I'm also doing another live video that is just a video tutorial where there's no discussion. I just read through the PDF for those who don't want to purchase it for whatever reason, or perhaps for people who are it's written for people who are hearing impaired. They can access it, and then I read it so that people who are visually impaired can also access it. And so that will also be appearing in the next couple of weeks as I get those produced and added to the website. So the website is in the process of transitioning from the 2.0 to the 3.0. But there's so much to delve into with each step. If you start with the orientation, and then you do step 9, and then you do step 8, that will be about the time step 7 will be coming out. By the time you do step 7, step 6 will be coming out. So you won't have to long wait for that information. So yeah, so that's it for the workshop. I'm just wondering if there's any discussion or any comments or anything you want to share before we go.
I wanted to share just an observation. Like I shared in regards to like my story about gratitude and being in the shelter and whatnot. And it's something that I did continue to practice after I got out, and it so much so that I can remember a story with it affecting Ray. He was probably about 4 years old. We were driving just in town. We were on my way to my mom's, and we were coming up to a red light, and as we came up to it, it turned green, and I hear from the back seat, "Thank you, green light."
Awesome. Oh, it's fantastic.
I remember that.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I've come through some rough times too, believe it or not. My kids and myself, we have also stayed in shelters. We have been homeless. We have had to rely on food banks. We have had some tough times. Had to go to for Christmas, we often had to go to one of the different charities that supplied used toys for families that were low income so that my kids could have some presents.
Yes.
And none of that was due to fault of our own. What's happening now in society is more people who never had to face this are facing it now. We've already come through it. So we know how to survive in that environment, but it's not fun. But these steps absolutely are what I used. And I didn't just download it and magically transcribe it. It took me years to really formulate it into the lessons. And now, I mean, this is 2024, and that was around 2013. So that's like what, 11 years of refining it to get it to where it's at now. And the funny thing is where it's at now is what people are really going to need with all the changes that are happening in society and with the government and everything else. So see, it's all worked out, perfect timing. And
Beautiful.
My life has completely changed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not what I would call perfect, but it's better than it's ever been. I'm very happy with my life. Dawn, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I'm just gonna say, like, I'm very excited to try to apply some of the physiological changes that you're already talking about in my own day-to-day life, because it's something that I've already discovered since starting this course. Is I am a very intelligent person, but I'm not very kind to the human that I live in. Right? I've abused my body for years with alcohol and bad food and bad choices, and now that I'm trying to become more spiritual and be cleanly, like I had a pancreatic issue yesterday that basically put me in bed for the day, and it's like, oh my
dear.
God, what have I done to myself? Right? But now that I'm seeing all of the ways, like the stretching, the changing, the breathing, the affirmations, it's like, okay, this is what you need to do to apologize for what you did. Right? And it's wonderful. Like, this course couldn't have came at a better time.
I'm so glad.
I didn't even realize that like your body is separate from like in this place, your body is separate from you. Like I did not know that until you said it earlier. Like,
Well, it's separate and it's not separate. Basically, our brain has the pineal gland and it has the equipment that we can access our soul and our higher consciousness. There's going to be lessons about this coming soon. But our physical body itself is the temple that holds the frequency that allows us to have the contact. So it's separate, but it's also all part of one big picture. But the care has to start with the foundation, which is the body. And we spend way too much time in the mind and getting back into the body and experiencing the body. And it's really pleasurable, you know? It's really nice to feel well and to not be exhausted all the time, you know? Is that what you meant? I'm sorry, maybe I should clarify.
yeah, like that's what I meant. Yeah.
He's also just discovering his transdimensional existence, because he is, as well as you and I are, transdimensional, because since my awakening has started, he's had somebody to ask the questions to, like, is it like this? And it's like, yeah, sorry, buddy.
Yeah. Yep. A lot of the answers we get from the higher realms are not what we're expecting. They're just kind of sometimes letdowns because we already kind of knew that, but we were hoping for some magic, right? So there's the physical body, which is tied into the mind, and that creates our emotions. But then there is also the whole spiritual life, which is really exciting. And when I say spiritual, I'm not talking about religion, not at all. I mean, you can keep your religion if it works for you, but this is a whole nother thing, and it's very exciting. And it's our birthright. And we weren't taught that either. How many times did we go to mental health and they suggested the woo-woo cure? You know, they never suggested. The churches will recommend prayer, but it has to be their kind of prayer and it has to be to their God, right? The church across the street's got a different God. No, only we recognize the right kind of God. It's a bit crazy making, really. Sorry, I don't mean to make fun of religious folks, but I'm just done with it. And we don't, it's like, I guess what it's like is, you know, in outer space, we think as humans that we have to get in a spaceship and actually physically travel from point A to point B. And then you find out that you're a magical being and point A can become point B. You don't want to get in a spaceship and be traveling through space for thousands of years when you can just go there right now. Right? And it's the same thing. It's exactly the same thing. So this is ancient information that's been hidden. And thank God they're not going to come and burn me as a witch. In this day and age, I can talk about it and share it. Yeah. So with that, I guess I will get on and process this video and let you guys get on with your day. Thank you so much for coming. It means so much to me. And I will send you the PDF for step 7, so you have it ahead of time. And then later the link, and we'll meet again next week, same time, same place. We'll do it a whole new layer.
Sounds wonderful.
Okay, thank you so much for joining me, guys.
Lion only makes you hurt. Denying only makes it worse. Love and surrender seem the fastest way to bring an end to bitter, painful days. Somewhere down the stars are falling like jewels upon a thin black veil, and you will thrill to hear your calling. 5 seconds seems like 5 billion years, 10,000 galaxies away, yet still so near.